What happens when you need to take a step forward in your business and you have no idea how to do it and you're terrified? Welcome to Living Forward TV, where we have powerful conversations about business success, lifestyle design, and the mindsets, decisions, and actions that make it happen. Oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we find ourselves facing new challenges almost every day, wouldn't you agree? And we have to make decisions and do things in our business to pull us forward. And when we're faced with something we've never done before, it can create a feeling in the pit of our stomach, terrify us, and stop us dead in our tracks, right? And oftentimes in those situations, what I find is people will either delay a decision, make a safer decision, or confer with somebody who isn't necessarily qualified to help them make that decision. Any of those outcomes are really not ideal for your business. If you are faced with a challenge, you need to step up, take it, and move forward. But I understand when you're terrified, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's definitely easier said than done, right? Wouldn't it be great if there was a secret sauce, something you could depend on and count on every single time to help you in those situations? The good news is there is. Are you ready for it? It's called certainty. I know you probably think I'm crazy right now because we're talking about what happens when you're uncertain, but hear me out for a moment. It doesn't matter what you're facing in your business or your life. Even if the decision you need to make or how to do it is something you're not familiar with, there's always going to be something that you're certain about. And that little bit of certainty is something you can focus on to help pull you forward to get you through what you're not certain about. Let me give you an example from my real life. Those of you who've been in my world know that I love my horse and I spend a lot of time with him, and that I'm also, what I would consider an inexperienced horseman. I have a lot of fear. Things come up that challenge me, that test me, that just strike terror in me. And let's face it, he's a 1,000-pound animal. There's a reason for it, right? And I need help and I need training in a lot of things. But sometimes I just need to move forward. So how do I do it? Well, I go back to certainty. Not certainty in what it is I'm about to do, but there's two things that I'm always certain about when I'm with my horse. The first one is that he has no desire at all to hurt me. The second thing that I have certainty in is he trusts me and he listens to me. So how do I apply these? Well, when I'm challenged with something new or technical or that makes me afraid, I can rely on those two things to get me through. In fact, just the other day, I took a big step. Something I have been terrified to do and haven't done is canter. I've never gone faster than trotting. I don't know how to sit in the saddle. I didn't know if I would fall off the horse. I didn't know if I could handle the speed. There was all these things that kept me terrified for a long time. But now it was time, as I improved my skills, to take that next step. So I relied on what I was certain about. And I asked him for a canter and he did it. And guess what? It was terrible. My foot came out of the stirrup. I was out of the saddle. I was grabbing onto the horn for dear life. I dropped the reins. By all means, and anybody who watched me, I was a complete amateur. But you know what? I wasn't afraid because I was certain. I was certain he didn't want to hurt me and I was certain he would listen to me. And when I asked him to whoa, he did. And the best part in all of that is I crossed a hurdle. And my certainty has now allowed me to develop new certainty in the fact that I now know I can canter without falling. I now know I'm ready to learn this technique. It's the same in your business. There are going to be situations that come up where you don't know how to do it, but you are still certain about something. For example, you might not be certain about who to hire in your business, but you know exactly what needs to be done. Or maybe you have a new marketing campaign come up and all the moving parts and pieces and the technology and the strategy scares you. But you're certain about the value you provide and you're certain about your product or service. Or maybe you need to make a new investment in your business. And let's face it, that's one that really kind of scares entrepreneurs, right? When we have to make an investment, whether it's team, technology, training, and the money's not there, it can really scare us. But if you're certain that the money has always shown up for you when you need it, you can rely on that. The certainty I'm speaking about here that helps you through these situations isn't the certainty in the outcome. It isn't the certainty in knowing what you're doing. It's the certainty on what you've already experienced in your life that you can glean on, that you can look to, that can help you take that step. And then once you've taken that step and you've crossed that threshold, just like I did with my horse, you develop a new certainty and a new outcome, and you can then keep moving forward. My challenge for you today is I have 4 questions. If you're facing a scary decision or something in your business that you aren't sure what to do, I'm going to ask you to consider these 4 things. 1, what are you certain about? 2, how can you apply it in this situation? 3, how will you now be able to move forward? And 4, what's the new certainty you can develop? If you've enjoyed this episode, then I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel, and please share this with somebody that you know needs to hear it. And of course, hop on over to livingforwardcommunity.com and join the community. I'd love to have you there and get to know you personally. Until then, I'll catch you on the next episode.